All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and we sure would appreciate if you would start out by going to renegadesofpuck.com. Right there, you'll find everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck, especially that merchandise link. Thank you so much. We had some purchases on the site in the online store just today, and we are so extremely appreciative of that. You can check out our classic logo t-shirt. You can check out our brand new Pride logo line of gimmicks and just about anything you can imagine. We've sold out so you can buy in. Socks, throw pillows, bed sets. We have it all in our online store. So again, we'd appreciate it if you would check out renegadesofpuck.com. Social media, we need your help. It doesn't cost you anything and it takes only a couple of seconds. No matter what platform you prefer, you can find the Renegades of Puck there. We'll start with YouTube, of course. Give us a subscription and make sure you turn on those notifications. We're doing a great job. We're up a couple of subscribers since our very last video, and that is incredible. Let's keep going, one renegade at a time. Right there, YouTube, that's how you can help us out. Then spread the links around and show everyone Renegades of Puck TV. We're very proud of what we've created in just a short amount of time. All of the different social media platforms, Facebook, we are on Twitter. We are also on Instagram, and you can find the audio version of the show on SoundCloud in traditional podcast form. Many of you have crossed over from the previous version of this show, which was on the radio, to the new version, which is specifically on YouTube. And now we have a version of it on SoundCloud, so make sure you're checking that out. And our behind-the-scenes live stream on Twitch. If anything is to go wrong in the bunker, you'll see it there. You'll also get the information first. We do a lot of bonus content, and we have a little bit of fun in the bunker on the Twitch live stream. It is my way to let you see how everything goes from the planning to the execution to the production of Renegades of Puck TV. So I'd appreciate each and every one of you for going to any of those platforms and giving us a little bit of love. Become a partner of the show like so many of you have already. No matter if it's $1, $20, or anything beyond that, it is just incredible. Go to Venmo and search renegadesofpuck.com or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. We are so appreciative of what you have done and your generosity. That's allowed us to get new lighting, allowed us to get more mics, allowed us to upgrade a lot of different things. So we're so appreciative of you for any donations you can make. Built by Renegades for Renegades. I'm counting on each and every one of you out there. We are in this together, so let's go ahead and get a couple of dollars into the coffer so we can go ahead and continue making upgrades here at the bunker for Renegades of Puck. Now, I got so many great things I want to tell you about throughout the show, but you're here for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let's get right into it. After 36 games played on the season, the Nashville Predators sit first place in the Central Division. They have a record of 23-11-2, 48 points, have some 3 points clear of the second place St. Louis Blues, and they are 4 points clear of their next opponent, the Colorado Avalanche. The Nashville Predators have a record of 10-5 on home ice. They've scored 112 goals in the season and have given up 95. Now, the Nashville Predators' next opponent is going to be one tough tilt. No doubt, the Central Division is probably going to go through Denver this year and the Colorado Avalanche as they have begun getting right. They have played 5 fewer games than the Nashville Predators. They played the least amount of games in the Central Division, and that is because they had 7 consecutive games canceled between December the 16th and January the 2nd. In their most recent stretch of games, I go back to just before, it was a 5-2 loss on December the 16th against the Nashville Predators. After that, they were able to secure a 4-2 win on the 2nd of January versus the Anaheim Ducks, and then on the 4th of January, 4-3 overtime win at Chicago, a 7-1 beatdown versus the Winnipeg Jets, and most recently a 5-4 overtime win versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Avalanche are a very good team, and they seem to have hit their stride coming out of the pause for COVID reasons. Now, this will be the third time out of 4 that these two teams meet on the season. For the Nashville Predators, we go back to November the 27th, and the Nashville Predators took a real beating in Denver. 6-2 loss at Colorado. Rantanen with 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. Makar had 3 assists. Landeskog had 2 assists. Riddick took the beat down for the Nashville Predators. He really took one for the team in that one, 29 out of 35 in the loss. Johansson in net for Colorado, 26 out of 28 for the win. They met again at Bridgestone Arena on the 16th of December. The Nashville Predators with a 5-2 victory. Both teams just ravaged by COVID. That would be why the season would go on pause briefly just after that. Forsberg with 2 goals and assists for 3 points. Sissons had 3 assists. Janot, Yossi, and Ekholm had a goal apiece. UC Saros picked up the victory, as he often does, 24 out of 26. They'll meet one more time this season. It'll take place out in Denver, Colorado, and that won't be until April the 28th. There is no doubt this Colorado Avalanche team is one of the best in the Central Division and the Western Conference overall. Now that they're getting their stride, making up the amount of games that they have to make up, this is an incredibly big game for the Nashville Predators right here near the midpoint of the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game, they will also host the Buffalo Sabres on this brief 2-game homestand before heading out to Boston next Saturday, and then the 17th and the 18th back-to-back on the road in St. Louis, then back home against Vancouver. Then January the 20th, Nashville Predators will face off against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, this Colorado Avalanche team has incredible numbers, and no matter what statistical metric you look at, and the Nashville Predators do have some very good statistical metrics as well, but when you compare to the Colorado Avalanche, it is very difficult. Now, they've scored 135 goals on the season, which is 4.32 per game. As you might expect, that is best overall in the NHL. They're 21st in the NHL in goals against at 3.26, but when you score that many goals, does it really matter where you rank in goals against? Shots for, they're 6th in the league, shots against 11th. They have the 7th rated power play and the 28th rated penalty kill. They have given up 25 power play goals against. The Nashville Predators have scored 3.08 goals per game. That's 14th best in the NHL. Goals against is 2.61, which is 7th best in the league. And that margin of separation between goals for and goals against is as wide as it has been at any point in the season. So for the Nashville Predators, they are actually showing quite a bit of improvement in statistical metrics across the board. Shots were 29.3. 25th in the league is not good enough. 30.9. The Preds have just been under siege as of late. They had done such a good job before the Christmas pause, and now they are just simply under siege when it comes to shots against on goal. The Preds have the 6th best power play in the NHL, converting 28 times out of 106 opportunities, and the 9th best penalty kill in the NHL. You know, when it comes to the Colorado Avalanche, they have a roster of highly skilled offensive players, and Roman Josi, who leads the Nashville Predators in scoring, would only be 4th on this team in scoring. The Colorado Avalanche are led by Kadri at this time of the season, 12 goals, 32 assists for 44 points. Rantanen has 16 goals and 24 assists for 40 points. Landeskog at 14 and 21 for 35. McKinnon at 5 and 29 for 34. Remember, he missed some time at the beginning of the season due to injury. Cal McCarr has 15 goals and 15 assists for 30 points. Darcy Kemper, net 16 and 5 on the year, 908 save percentage, and a 2.77 goals against average. And for the Nashville Predators, of course, Roman Josi leads the team in scoring and is having a highly impressive season. But when you look at the stats for the Colorado Avalanche, it almost seems as if he's not, but he is. He's pacing ahead of where he was in offensive statistics when he won the Norris Trophy. Of course, that's an award for best defenseman in the NHL, but we all know how that award is actually looked at, viewed, and executed by the end of the season. Mikhail Granlund, 2nd on the team in scoring with 5 goals and 27 assists for 32 points. Matt Duchene has 14 goals and 17 assists for 31 points. Philip Forsberg, unfortunately, out of the lineup on the COVID list right now for the Nashville Predators. He has 18 goals and 11 assists on the season, 29 points overall. Johansson had 10 goals and 19 assists for 29 points. And Tanner Jeannot, 11 and 11 for 22. And UC Saros did not anticipate him getting the start in Arizona. We'll recap that game in full detail coming up here in just a moment, but he did get the start. He did pick up the victory, and now is 9-1 on the season, a 9.29 save percentage, a 2.21 goals against average, and his last 4 games is just otherworldly. Not just Vezina caliber game and performances, but Hart Trophy type performances. We'll talk more about that as the show goes along as well. So that gets you all set up for the Nashville Predators and the Colorado Avalanche Tuesday night at Bridgestone Arena. This is going to be a massive, massive game. First place is on the line for the Nashville Predators. St. Louis chasing close behind. The Colorado Avalanche now on a hot streak, also catching up. And the Minnesota Wild are sitting there at 44 points, not to be discounted. They have also been playing some incredible hockey as of late. So the top 4 teams in the Central Division right now are really heating up and playing some incredibly good hockey. And for the Preds, they'll have a couple of really big division games coming up here against the Colorado Avalanche, and then coming up very soon in St. Louis. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. RebirthSports.com please go check them out. Also find them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Rebirth Sports. You see the jerseys that I wear here in the bunker. You've now seen the road jersey debuted. And by the way, you should be expecting to see some secret Renegade couriers out there all across the landscape of the hockey universe coming up here shortly. You never quite know what they're up to. But Rebirth Sports, we know exactly what they're up to. They are making incredible hockey jerseys. And it goes beyond making just jerseys. They are hockey tailors, and they can outfit your entire operation. I love being in business and being a partner with Rebirth Sports. They are just incredible. The way they can communicate, the way they can take a vision and make it a reality, it has simply helped the Renegades of Puck so much, and I'm so appreciative of them. So much stick taps, so much love, so much respect for everything that they are doing. So please check them out, rebirthsports.com, Rebirth Sports, Facebook, and Twitter. And again, we are so extremely thankful and proud to have such great partners that we can represent here on the show and that also represent us out there in the hockey community. Now, let's get into that Rebirth Sports full game recap. It was all the way back on 1/8 of the year 2022, and the Nashville Preds were taking on the Arizona Coyotes in Arizona. And here is how John Hines had to deploy his lines because of some last-minute changes. Philip Forsberg tested positive for COVID earlier in the day, so he was not in the lineup. Tolvanen, Johansson, and Cunnin, Jeannot, Granlund, and Duchesne, Trennan, Sissons, and Cousins, Luff, McCarron, and Tomasino. I don't know what Philip Tomasino has done to be busted down to the fourth line and be remaining down there, but this seemed like an opportunity where he could have perhaps gotten some upper line minutes. Yossi and Carey, Ekholm and Benning, Borowiecki and Myers make up your defense pairings, and UC Saros did not anticipate him getting the start because of the heavy workload he has had as of late. And if you're not going to start your backup goaltender in one of the worst teams in the entire league, who are you going to start your backup goaltender against? We're just 9 seconds into this game, and I anticipated the possibility of a trap game, and just 9 seconds in, the Arizona Coyotes are coming out looking like they're ready to play because UC Saros has to come up with the first save of the game on Krause. 10 seconds later, he comes up with another save on Strawman. So just 19 seconds into the game, UC Saros already has 2 saves. But 56 seconds into the game, Matthias Ekholm has his second goal of the season, giving the Nashville Preds a 1-0 lead. It was Johansson's drop pass, Cunnin taking the shot, and Ekholm following the play with the rebound jam. And I believe we'll call this one the Ekholm, where you not only put the puck into the net, but put your entire body over the goal line as well. Matthias Ekholm crashing the net hard with reckless abandon and scoring his second goal of the season. Now the Preds have a 1-0 lead. It would be just 2 seconds later or off the face-off after the goal that Borowiecki and O'Brien would have a nice tilt. Burrow would clearly be the winner in this one. As a matter of fact, it would be a clear knockout. 5 minutes apiece for the two of them. 2:37 into the first period. Ekholm and Kessler off to the box. 2 minutes each for slashing. We see the first of numerous 4-on-4 scenarios in this first period. 6:28 into the first. Luff and Mayo are off to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. Another 4-on-4. 10:43. We see Tolvanen gets a shot that has to be stopped by Vejmelka at 11:05. Carey is off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Sissons at this point in time gets a shorthanded partial breakaway that has to be stopped by Vejmelka. Cunnin then is off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. A 5-on-3 for 21 seconds. Saros comes up with a huge save on Boyd right there on the doorstep at the edge of the blue paint. Then Saros comes up with a save on a deflected shot from the low slot. It was a relatively strong PK overall, and that's because the Nashville Preds did not give up a goal even in the 5-on-3 scenario. They'll get another chance to test it out, though, because at 15:29, Johansson's off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Larson then is off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Another 4-on-4 scenario, this time for 1:26. Myers would come out with a back check hustle and some no-half step and effort that disrupts the 2-on-1 pass before the Arizona Coyotes can get the scoring opportunity. That allows Trennan just seconds later score his 9th goal of the season, a shot from out high with Tolvanen setting the perfect screen on the flyby. Nashville now has a 2-0 lead in Arizona, but they are not done here in this period. 18:56 of the first period. Tanner Jeannot's got his 11th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Preds a 3-0 lead. Roman Yossi steals the puck in the neutral zone. Matt Duchesne carries it in, makes the cross-zone pass to Jeannot on the back post for the easy conversion and score. And again, that looks a lot like Calder material right there, if you're asking me. Now your rookie goal-scoring leader in the NHL as far as goals. 19:09 in the first period. Ladd's off to the box. 2 minutes for interference after he just runs over Cunnin in the neutral zone. But Granlund would be also headed to the box shortly after that. 2 minutes for holding the stick. Yet another 4-on-4 scenario. Don't worry, there would be plenty more penalties in this one. Matter of fact, penalty minutes in the first period, 17 for the Nashville Predators, 13 for the Arizona Coyotes. Shots on goal, the Preds had 19, Arizona had 12. We're into the second period now, and that first period simply had everything. I feel like we should just go ahead and stop right there and just call it a show, but we will go on. Second period is not going to be nearly as interesting. I'll just go ahead and tell you that now. That's a spoiler. Sorry. 56 seconds into the second period, Jeannot's off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. Saros comes up with a save on Mayo on the continuation after the power play expires. Then Saros comes up with a huge save on Kessel. Preds 2 shots on goal at the 10-minute mark of the second period. And honestly, the second period is a bit of a snooze after the excitement and the high energy and high activities of the first period. 11:43 of the second period. Saros makes a save on Galchenyuk. 13:48. Larson's off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. Saros comes up with a glove save on Boyd's shorthanded partial breakaway. The Nashville Predators have given too many of those this season. It was a sloppy power play overall, with the Arizona Coyotes getting the best scoring opportunity. At 16:52 of the second period, Saros comes up with a save on Larson on the 2-on-1. At 18:06, Saros comes up with a save on Nash, who just signed a contract like 3 minutes before getting this shot on goal. Arizona outshoots the Nashville Predators at the end of the second period, 27-24. Yet another game where the Nashville Predators have gotten ahead by 3 goals and find themselves suddenly getting outshot by the opponent and getting, frankly, outplayed by the opponent, not generating nearly enough counterattack or enough offense here in the second period. 2:19 of the third period, Keller gets Arizona on the board with the 12th goal of the season. This kid is slick. He wins the draw to himself and then goes bar down on UC Saros. This is a highlight reel goal, and this kid is a pest if you have to face off against him. This is an incredible goal for the Arizona Coyotes. Now, it's a 3-1 hockey game. At 2:44 of the third period, Trennan versus Ladd. We see the instigator called on Ladd. Why? Because he charged from the red line all the way to the face-off dot, and that gives the Nashville Predators a power play. Trennan was initially involved with another player, and then Ladd just came flying in to instigate the fight. Now, Trennan did lose this fight, and that's hard for us here in the trenches. That's hard. But he'll be okay. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll handle his next fight quite well. Pavelka comes up with a save on Tolvanen, and then we see 4:56 of the third period where Saros comes with a save on Keller, who's driving the net hard. This time, instead of going bar down, he tries to go 5-hole, tries to change it up, and it shows that he is thinking next level about his offensive side of the game. At 6 minutes of the third period, O'Brien's off to the box, 2 minutes for roughing, and that's where we see Roman Josi, the captain, get his 12th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 4-1 lead. It was a long wrist shot with the high-low screen by the Nashville Predators, a 4-1 lead in the third period, and we see that the Nashville Predators at 10:48, a goal is scored by the Arizona Coyotes. It is initially, at least seemingly, waved off by the linesman for a high stick. Then they get together and they discuss it for quite some time, and they determine that it is apparently a goal, but we don't really know because nobody seemed to know what the hell was going on for approximately 5 minutes of time. When they did just finally decide to drop the puck at center ice, declaring it a goal, nobody ever had any kind of indication of what actually had happened. Did the linesman call high sticking? Was this a legal goal? Could it be challenged? Nobody really understands. What ends up happening in the end is there was so much time in between and so much jawing back and forth and so much chirping that you see Jeannot and O'Brien get 10-minute misconduct, so they're done with this game. And then you see John Hines get a delay of game penalty for trying to ask the referee over and over again and just tell the referee, frankly, that this call was a bunch of bullshit, that he gets a delay of game penalty. This entire exchange made absolutely no sense, and I look forward to following up on this and seeing what the league says about it here afterwards. So the goal is on the board. Arizona's second goal of the game. The Nashville Predators now have a 4-2 lead in this game. Saros would have to come up with another save on Keller now while the Nashville Predators were on the power play. Unfortunately, the Nashville Predators giving up another shorthanded opportunity. Fisher then off to the box so that we get another 4-on-4 scenario. This was a face-off violation, hand pass from the face-off. So many penalties in this game, I have to go to the second side of the sheet. 16:23, we go to the empty net scenario. Saros has to come up with a big save on Krause. One last round of saves for Saros in the final seconds of the game, and the Nashville Predators get out of this potential trap game, winning 4-2 being outshot 40-29. UC Saros, another game where he faces 40 shots on goal. And for the Nashville Predators, another game where they get up 3-0 and find themselves in a much tighter game than they should. No, it did not turn out to be a trap game, but it did turn out to be close by the end. The Nashville Predators sweep the road trip. They get out of Arizona, now taking 4 points out of 4 against Arizona on the season and getting set up for the Colorado Avalanche on home ice at Bridgestone Arena, a huge tilt in the Central Division. I mentioned UC Saros and how much work he has had as of late. That's why I was very surprised that head coach John Hines started him in this game. Because again, if you're not ready to start your backup goaltender against one of the worst teams in the NHL, who are you going to start your backup goaltender against? And are you at risk then of burning out your franchise starting goaltender? Let's remember, this is the first time that UC Saros has been the declared number one starting goaltender from the start of the season, and he has never had a full starter's workload before. That's one of the reasons I question this. Unfortunately, we won't have Greg Machopoulos on this episode. He is in sick bay. He will be on the mend, and he'll be back on the show very soon. But let me give you some numbers. UC Saros was 38 out of 40 in this game, and in his last 4 games, he's 4-0. 162 saves on 169 shots against, a 1.75 goals against, averaging a 9.5 save percentage. He is simply otherworldly right now. And again, we keep talking about he is a potential Vezina finalist this season. It's the potential is going away with every game that you see him play. He is incredible out there, and he is a goaltender that can win a team a championship. If the Nashville Predators can continue to play as good as they have in front of him for the rest of the season and beyond into the postseason, then there's no reason to believe that UC Saros can't be that guy, that goaltender, the one that wins it all. So for the Nashville Predators, too much reliance on him as of late, but he has stepped up and he has found a way to win even when his team is not performing at the highest levels, especially in the third period as of late. Strong Style Fitness is a great partner of this show. All the partners of this show are incredible. They're great people, they're great companies, and we're proud to represent them. StrongStyleFit.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Strong Style Fitness. Tracy does an incredible job. She has 150 workouts now on YouTube, all there completely free for you. It's a donation-based service. She believes in her work so much that she would rather get you up, get you motivated, and get you moving, and then allow you to decide what you want to pay her later. It's an incredible service, and she's doing an incredible job for the Renegades of Puck. We appreciate everything that she does. A certified personal trainer willing to put their work out there for each and every one of you Renegades. Whether you are just beginning your stretching routine and you just need to get off the couch, or you're an expert that's been at it for a long time. In an age when everyone is begging for your money and they are demanding your New Year's resolution be physical fitness, diet, and get in shape, well, we're offering you a path that's not going to cost you anything. So jump in the trenches with Strong Style Fit. We sure would appreciate that. Now listen, Sean C. Smith is in the trenches today here on Renegades of Puck TV. You know you can find us working on theforecheck.com. You can also find him on Twitter at SCSOTF and on a myriad of different podcasts throughout the Nashville Predators landscape. He is Sean C. Smith, and he's got thoughts on tonight's game in Arizona.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith here with my main man, Kalen Smith. We stayed up, watched the game together. Kalen was very happy that the Predators played a game that fit within his bedtime over the past week. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw in this game against the Coyotes. First off, penalties galore in the first period. Now, I have some theories on what's going on here, and you got to think about this. First off, you've got the Coyotes, who are not having the best of seasons. Now, granted, they're in rebuild mode. They still have some good pieces on the team, and they're a hard team to play against. But the thing is, they've won 7 games this season. They're not going to go down without a fight, and that's exactly what they brought. I joked on Twitter that the Coyotes were trying to adopt the Preds persona of being a team that's hard to play against, and they really did. They wanted to be a team that was hard to play against. They wanted the Predators to have to earn their win, and that's exactly what the Predators did, of course. But like I said, the Coyotes weren't going to go down easily. They put up a big fight, and again, you don't want, I mean, I guess you do want easy wins, right? But you don't want it to look like you've coasted your way to a really good record. So, you know, if the Coyotes are going to put up a good fight and make the Predators earn it, I'm more than fine to earn it. And I think the Predators did that tonight. And again, when you have a team that's hard to play against, going up against a team that's in a bad situation, you're going to have two teams that are going to turn into heavy hitters. It honestly could have gotten a lot worse than it was out there, but it seems like the boys handled it pretty well. Of course, they played strong in the first and the third. The second wasn't that great, but it doesn't really matter because the Preds came out on top. Why did they come out on top? They came out on top because of depth scoring that complemented their elite scorers, of course, in Roman Josi getting the job done on his own. And of course, Matthias Ekholm came in and tried to prove to everybody that he is definitely willing to make some noise when he needs to on the ice. And I've really been pumped about what I've seen out of Ekholm. Now, I also want to say this. You heard Hal Gill talk about it on TV tonight. He talked about Eeli Tolvanen and how he's added layers to his game. Now, he was speaking specifically about Tolvanen's willingness to lay down some nasty hits on guys. We've been talking about that a lot here on the Renegades of Puck. But in reality, something else Tolvanen does well is he screens the goalie. And that's not something that we've seen out of him a lot, but he's getting very good at it. It's almost like the guys he hangs around, guys like Mikael Granlund, and probably even his really good friendship with UC Saros are probably teaching him some pretty good things about how to take away a goalie's eyes. And even though he didn't have assists on those 2 goals tonight, he definitely was a big part of those goals happening because he took away the goalie's eyes and made it a lot easier for those pucks to go in the net. Now, of course, we've got to talk about reffing. What the heck was that all about? It seemed like things were out of control. And realistically, it was a pretty bad look when they wouldn't let John Hines have that call reviewed. And so that ended up giving the Coyotes a little bit closer of a game to deal with. It made things a little bit more interesting than I think anyone would have wanted it to. And of course, after the game, John Hines said he did not get an explanation for why they wouldn't let him challenge. They've got to call into the league, and they should be hearing something soon. I'm interested to hear what they have to say. I'm sure everyone else out there in Smashville is interested as well. And the last thing I'll say is this. When I had a chance to ask John Hines a question, I asked him, you've always said, John, that you only need to try to control the things you can control in a game. And he said, that's true. This game tonight, this game against the Coyotes, especially in the third period, was a perfect example of that and why it's important. Things were out of control, but the team did what they needed to do. They made sure they maintained the control. Goodness gracious. The team made sure they did what they needed to do to maintain control and the pace of the game, and that they were dictating what was happening on the ice. And as the minutes wound down, it didn't really matter what the other team was going to do, whether they pulled the goalie, had extra guys on the ice, because the Predators got where they needed to go to make sure the pucks didn't get to Saros, and they made sure to secure the W.
At SCSOTF, he is Sean C. Smith. He is the best. Sure to appreciate him, and sure to appreciate his partner there joining us here on Renegades of Puck TV. You can catch Sean C. Smith in every episode practically here of Renegades of Puck TV. You can also find us working on theforecheck.com, and he does great work bringing you the intel from the front lines on Twitter at SCSOTF. Let me go through a couple of the box score and the numbers. Tanner Jeannot scores a goal in this game. Yakov Trenin scores another goal in this game. He's on a hot streak as of late. Matthias Ekholm puts his entire body and the puck into the net. Roman Josi, the captain, has a goal in this game. On the assist side of things, Matt Duchene with 1, Granlund with 1, Johansson with 2. Cunnin picks up an assist. Tolvanen picks up an assist in this game. Matt Benning picks up an assist. And the captain, Roman Josi. Leading the team in shots on goal, Roman Josi with 7. Leading the team in block shots with 3 is Roman Josi. Leading the team in total time on ice, 25-52, the captain, Roman Josi. He was outstanding tonight on the ice. Every time Roman Josi took a shift, you can tell that he was dialed in, he was focused, and he was not going to be in a trap game situation. He led his team tonight, and he led by example, and every time he was out there on the ice, he was a threat to score. He was really a dangerous player out there, as he is many nights. But this night, he stood out even more than usual. Mikael Granlund led the forwards in time on ice at 18:51, as you come to expect. In the hits category, it was a physical game at times. Eeli Tolvanen with 6 hits in the game, and Philip Myers with 6 hits in the game, and a couple of them were thunderous. So glad to see Myers getting more comfortable out there on the ice and starting to play his game. He is a big body, smooth skater. There's no reason to believe he's not going to develop into a very productive defenseman for the Nashville Predators. Also, you see Colton Sissons with 5 hits in this game and a multitude of Predators with at least a hit. So the Preds committing to their identity and playing physical, initiating, and playing very good, strong, tough hockey. They're full of sandpaper, and they're bringing the jam. You know who else is full of the jam? He's our brand new Renegades of Puck junior correspondent, and he is a man that has one simple thought, and he wants to put that thought out there to all of you. So I welcome our brand new Renegades of Puck junior correspondent, his first appearance in the trenches. Kalen, it's all yours.
Thanks, Charlie. I'm Kalen, and I'm 7 years old. And why do people try to start fighting the Nashville Predators? I don't know. All you're going to get is 5 minutes in the penalty box and some less teeth knocked out. Thanks, Charlie. That's all I have to say. Back to you.
It's a simple question that Kalen asks. Why do people want to fight the Nashville Predators? So far this season, they are proving to be tougher than virtually every one of their opponents. They're intimidating, they're imposing, they don't back down, they initiate, and frankly, I'm enjoying watching that business. Also, really enjoying having that junior correspondent for the Renegades of Puck. Kalen, stick taps, love, and respect to you. Great job jumping in the trenches. We get more Renegades of Puck like you. We'll continue building this operation, continue being a force for positivity. We sure do appreciate you jumping in the trenches with us. Thank you so much. Listen, before we head on out of here, let me tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions, stripedigitalsolutions.com or Facebook, Instagram, Stripe Digital Solutions. Brandy does incredible work. She helped me design the logo that you see on the wall and that you see on the jersey right here. She helps me maintain renegadesofpuck.com. And most importantly and recently is helping me build this brand and helping me with all of the different aspects of building a brand. It is a lot of work. It is hard. It is a lot of details, and it's impossible to do completely on your own. So make sure you're just going to Stripe Digital Solutions and just inquire. Find out how you can get some help. Believe me, you need assistance. We all do. Anybody who's out there trying to run a small business, anybody who's out there trying to run anything, any type of project in this day and age, social media and the internet and the online community is so drastically important. Brandy can help you unlock the keys to all of that. So please, Stripe Digital Solutions. You know how I feel about all of the partners here of Renegades of Puck TV and the Renegades of Puck. They're incredible people. They're incredible businesses. And believe me, if I tell you they're great, you can take my word for it. You can trust me. These are no half-stepping people. Hey, we got to get on out of the bunker. I appreciate everybody jumping in the trenches this evening and watching Renegades of Puck TV. We've had the numbers are up lately. Everything is escalating, and it is so awesome. We've been at it for a couple of months now, and we're starting to really see things start to grow. So we're so thankful and so appreciative, and there is no doubt with this absolutely massive Central Division game coming up on Tuesday night, this episode is probably going to give us a great opportunity to promote and give us an opportunity to get in front of more people than we have before. So if you're just jumping in the trenches for the first time, we are a force for positivity in the hockey community, and we are all about no half-stepping. When it comes to no half-stepping, what does that really mean? It means doing the right thing even when it's the hard thing. It means taking that shopping cart back up to the cart return or back to the store itself. It means doing the right thing. And believe me, it's not easy. It's the hard thing sometimes, but it's what you have to do, and it's how I live my life, and it's how I am fulfilled here as the captain of the Renegades of Puck. When I live a no half-step in life, and when I have a day full of no half-stepping, it just makes me feel so much better. Each and every one of you are invited. You're welcome in the trenches with me. I welcome all people. You got the fire, you got the fury, you got the passion, you love the glorious game, well then you in fact are a Renegade of Puck. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter if you're tall or short, small, it doesn't make a damn difference. You want to jump in the trenches with me, whether it's your first hockey game or your 1,000,000th hockey game. You are welcome here. We will educate, we will entertain, and we will hopefully bring a little bit of laughter and a little bit of joy to you as you join us each and every episode here of Renegades of Puck TV. All right, let's get out of here. For Sean C. Smith, for Mostradamus, for Brian Baston, for the Ultimate One, for K. Perk, and for the Renegades of Puck Junior correspondent Kalen, I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, respect.